Hey y'all, this is Southern Woods here. Welcome back to another Ages of Conflict war simulation. Last video during this timeline series of North America, we were in the year 1800, alright, a new century. But now, what does North America look like at the beginning of the War of 1812, right? It is the year 1812 in our own timeline. There's been some changes to the maps. For one, Haiti is established by now. New Spain is in the middle of the war of Mexican independence, so New Spain is technically still in control. The greater U.S. moved westward. All right, a few more tribes have fallen overall in our own timeline. The British, of course, are still around because we're about to go to war with the British in our real timeline. And Ohio and Kentucky have been established, as well as a couple other Native American confederacies. So, again, no one's allied with each other. To start off, so we're just doing a free-for-all in the year 1812. Let's see what happens if the War of 1812 became an all-out North American Civil War. Let's get started. Alright, who is going to fight first? Who is going to fall first? We have our first alliances forming between several Native American tribes and nations. The British immediately trying to snuff out the Plains Creek in the far north. We have some battles between Tennessee and the Cherokee. And we have our first conquerings. Alright. The Musqueam were conquered by the Chinook. Vermont was conquered by New York, a little state-on-state action. And the Comanche were conquered by New Spain. Alright. We had about 60 nations, states, whatever you want to call it, to start out. New Hampshire and Kentucky, the newly formed Kentucky, have fallen, as well as New Jersey. The states are really turning on each other to start out. However, New York and Connecticut formed an alliance. The Wabanaki Confederacy up here, pushing against the British. And we just had the greater U.S. fall. Alright? To the Chippewa. So the Chippewa are going to get real big in the Great Lakes region. North Carolina, taken out by South Carolina. So a little Carolina on Carolina. Bad blood. If y'all are from the Carolinas, are you friendly with each other? Or do you see kind of a rivalry sort of thing? Virginia, conquered by Maryland. And then New Spain, going to town on all these western tribes. And then we also had Maryland fall to Pennsylvania. The Sioux just fell to New Spain. So New Spain, starting off strong here. Indeed. We have a couple tribes battling in the south. Not much going on there, though. Not much headway. We have Cuba, we have Haiti, the Seminoles pushing against Spanish West Florida, which is still a thing. Gonna speed it up a little bit more. The Hazelaw fell to the Hatsuke, which is just out of range, but way far up north. It looks like the Arapaho pushing against New Spain, the Chippewa pushing against the British. So we have some tribes doing well against the Europeans. We just had Massachusetts fall to New York, and Spanish West Florida was taken out by the Seminoles. Look at New Spain fall. They are officially conquered by the Choctaw, but of course, a lot of tribes are going to benefit, especially the Apache. Alright, we have more tribes falling out west in present-day California. Georgia moving up into South Carolina, going to take South Carolina out. Tennessee's moving up into Ohio, going to take Ohio for themselves. And then Tennessee and the Choctaw team up and take out the Chickasaw. Delaware's conquered by Pennsylvania. Maine struggling against the Wabanaki Confederacy, which is doing well. The Yakima have gotten really big. The British kind of sandwiched in between three great tribes. Meanwhile, the Muskogee conquered by Georgia. Usually the Muskogee takes out Georgia in these simulations, so Georgia getting the upper hand this time around in the year 1812. We have 25 nations left. Let's just check out the statistics here. The biggest by size is going to be the British still, followed by the Apache and the Yakima and the Wabanaki Confederacy. Now looking at economy, going to be the British, of course, followed by the Yakima, Apache, and the Wabanaki. So both the same there. Let's check out the alliance map real quick. All right, the Apache, Choctaw, Seminole, Cuba, Tennessee, Cherokee, all teamed up together in the Apache Pact. And then we have a big Western tribal alliance up here. And then Operation New York with the Wabanaki, New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and Georgia and Haiti are teamed up. So Haiti and Georgia, an alliance. And very interesting there. So let's place our bets. All right, who's going to take it all home with 25 left? Will it be Pennsylvania? They're not doing too hot. They're being pushed back by Tennessee, who just took out the Tecumseh Confederacy, something like that. Pennsylvania was conquered by Tennessee. And it looks like the Cherokee are going to be finished by Georgia. So Georgia doing pretty well, almost making it to the top 20 unless something bad happens. They have Haiti funding them. I'm pretty sure the Confederacy in our own timeline was very interested in Cuba and Haiti and those Caribbean islands. Maybe Georgia's interested in the sugar plantations in Haiti. Who knows? The Seminole were also taken out by Georgia as I was talking your ear off. The Osage being surrounded by Tennessee, the Choctaw, the Apache. But the Choctaw are going to be invaded by Georgia. That's a huge move. Georgia's not going to get much of it. Cuba also invades Haiti, taking them out. So Georgia's only ally was taken out. They're going to team up with the Chippewa and take out Tennessee, or the Chippewa. Very interesting. A lot just happened there. A lot just happened. So Cuba has some of Mexico. All right, the Caribbean, Florida. Georgia's moved up and gotten a lot of the eastern U.S. The Chippewa were just conquered by the Crow, who have been kind of quiet but making moves now. The Osage is still alive, now having to push against Georgia and the Apache. New York, all right, with the help of the Wabanaki, fending off Georgia for now. Hey, I'd love to see my own state get a dub here. I don't think Georgia's gotten a dub in this whole timeline series of North America that we have done. The British still hanging on. Well, I jinxed them. Goodbye, British. The Redcoats are no longer in North America. Georgia's being turned on. The Wabanaki Confederacy is huge. They just stole all the British gold. However, Cuba now aligned with Georgia, trying to fund them. So, it's not going to work out, though. Georgia made it to the top 15, but has fallen. Now Cuba, all right, in alliance with the Apache, trying to push back against the, who is this? The Pawnee and the Osage. Ooh, looks like the Pawnee are going to fall, though. The Osage, they've been on the defensive this whole game. Still hanging on, though. Still hanging on. Not looking good, though. They ran out of money, and now they're just this little slither all the way down to the Gulf. And now they're officially gone, as well as the Lakota. So we have 10 nations left, the Wabanaki Confederacy and New York. The Crow Nation, the Apache, Cuba, Nez Perce, Arapaho, Maidu, and the Yakima. And right up here in the far northwest, the Quackatoodle. Alright, the big players here. Well, let's not say anything too fast because the Crow are on a tear. Wow, the Crow made what a move. What a move. Taking out the Wabanaki. Now pushing against the Apache. The Crow and the Apache. Two fierce tribes, alright, in our own timeline. The Crow hopped on their boats and took out Cuba. So now we have 6 left. Who will take it all? The Crow pushing southwest. They're going to take out the Apache. Will it be the Yakima, Nez Perce, Maidu, and the Quackatoodle to defeat the Crow? Well, it wasn't the Maidu. It wasn't the Nez Perce. Will it be the Yakima, though? Quackatoodle helping them out, giving them a little money, funding the defenses. Alright, the Yakima have fallen. The Crow all of a sudden. Oh no! What happened? The quackoodle. Quackoodle. Quackoot. However you pronounce them, this is their first dub. Usually they just stay up in the far north and eventually get taken out, but this time they got the better of the Crow. The Crow are eating Crow. Hit me with the like button if you like this simulation. If you want to see more of these outdoor videos, food reviews, hit the subscribe button and join the Southern Woods community. Without further ado, I will see y'all in the next one. Southern Woods out.